Okay, so hey guys, so now we are going to be sewing two set of bonnets. I'll show you two ways you can actually make these bonnets. They're very easy, they're very stylish. You also want to get headband, elastic band itself. So the elastic band I have here for my head, usually adult size is about 22. Um, so in this case I get about 22 and 3/4, right? So even 23 could be fine, right? It's good because you want to, when you have the headband, you want to make sure you have enough for seam allowance, right? So cut out your elastic. So I've cut out two because I'll be making two hair bonnets. So this is the first one I did, so I'm going to do the small one. So the small one is 11.5. So I'll show you how you can make the small one. I have my two fabric, one of my main fabric and one of the lining pieces. And then I have the bigger one. So the bigger one is the 14.5 inches, right? So you see how I cut it out? So, and then you could always make the other. So I just want to make the smaller one and the bigger one. The bigger one is a stylish way of making it as well. So this is how it is. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to start with the bigger one. We're going to start constructing on the bigger one first. And then we'll go with the smaller one. Okay, so first when you cut out your fabric, I have to iron this, of course, make sure it's nice and tailored. You want to make sure it's right sides touching right sides. So this is my right sides of my fabric here. So right sides touching right sides, okay? Then with the right sides touching right sides, now you want to go on your sewing machine and you want to leave an opening. So you could leave like you could leave an opening, maybe a 4-inch opening, 5-inch opening. It could even be a 3-inch opening as well, but leave enough opening to pull the fabric out. We're gonna be sewing all the way around 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna go on the machine. I'll leave like a 4-inch opening here. All right, so I'm gonna leave a 4-inch opening here. Leave a 4-inch opening here, and then you go all the way around and you sew 1/2 inch all the way around. Okay guys, so I put pin all around. So this is how it is, the pin all around here. So I'm gonna go on the machine and sew it all around, and I leave 2 pins here for my opening. Okay guys, so now we're gonna do 1/2 inch, so just 1/2 inch here. Just take out your pins as you go. So this is my 1/2 inch line here, and I'm gonna just sew the 1/2 inch all the way around while I'm taking my pin out, that's all. Okay, so now we are done. All right, so our next move now is to turn it, and then we're gonna iron it. So let's go ahead. So now we're gonna iron everything. Okay guys, so now we're gonna be so usually I would do this on the machine itself, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually mark it down here just for you to kind of get an idea of what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna, from the edge now, I'm gonna actually start by my opening here, and I'm gonna go right around. Now that's only for this one. All right, so I'm gonna go all the way 2 inch around. So 2 inch around, that would be a guide on the machine. Now on the machine itself, I could just go 2 inch around, but I'm just gonna mark it here so you can see. So on some part you would be able to see, some part you may not. So I want you to go 2 inch around. So we're gonna go all the way 2 inch around. All right, and if you want, you could actually mark the 2 inch on the machine. So you just follow a 2 inch guide. That's gonna be your sewing guide, 2 inch around. Okay, so I'm gonna just do it here, 2 inch all the way around. From the edge here, 2 inch all the way around. So as you can see here, I'm just going 2 inch. You could actually just go on the machine and just do the 2 inch as well without marking it. Alright, but if you have a marking pencil, so 2 inch around, and I'm not gonna touch the opening, I'm gonna leave the opening because I need that opening. Okay, so 2 inch around. Alright. Alright, so I'm coming close to my opening. I'm gonna just do one and one more. So that's my guide, my 2 inch around. Okay, and then I'm gonna leave that open here. So I'm gonna just put a pin here. I'll put a pin right here and right here. That's my guide. Okay. So next thing, what I'm gonna do here now, guys. Then I'm gonna make another marking. Okay. So when we go on the machine, we don't waste time. We just go ahead and start to sew. All right. So the other marking I'm gonna make here, I'm gonna make 3/4 of an inch from the edge, but it's out to this side. So 3/4 of an inch. So this is 1/2 inch. I'm gonna go 3/4 of an inch. Now, why am I doing 3/4 of an inch? My elastic, I'm gonna be pushing the elastic around this here, and my elastic is 1/2 inch. So I cannot make a 1/2 inch mark. It will be like right there. So I'm gonna make 3/4 of an inch to make it bigger. So this is it here. This is my 1/2 inch here, and this is my 3/4 of an inch here. Right? So all depends on the elastic. If you have a bigger elastic, you could also even come down 1 inch. It's all up to you, right? All depends on the elastic you have. But for me now, my elastic is a 1/2 inch. I'm gonna come 3/4 of an inch. So I'm gonna mark the 3/4 of an inch here all the way around, because I'm gonna also sew it around as well. So 3/4 of an inch from here. So sometimes the best thing to do is just take your time and make sure you get that part right. I'm using a 1/2 inch elastic. If you're using a 1/2 inch elastic, you would follow this method to the T. Sorry. If you're using like a 1 inch elastic, you probably need to make a bigger. So if you're using a 1 inch elastic, you may need to come in like 1.5 inch down, something like that, because your elastic is bigger. So it all depends on the elastic. But anyway, for this video, I'm gonna do a 1/2 inch elastic. So I'm gonna come in 3/4 of an inch down from my 2 inch here, right? So just come 3/4 of an inch down. So that will be my second line. So guys, also if you're having a hard time figuring out the 3/4 of an inch, you could also just do 1 inch down. That's perfectly fine as well, just in case you're having a hard time finding the 3/4 of an inch. All right. So if you're confused, just watch the video. Take your time, watch the video, see what's going on first, and then you attempt. But it's very simple. So 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch from my 2 inch down. Okay. All right, perfect. So you have one here. Okay, I'm almost coming home now. So let me just go ahead again. So what I'm gonna do, guys, all right, so just to let you guys know, so this is my fully 2-inch mark. Okay, so for my 2-inch mark now, I'm gonna seal it through. So I am gonna seal it through the 2-inch mark all the way around. Okay, and you would see, I'll explain when I'm there. And then for the 3/4 of an inch, so for the 3/4 of an inch, I would leave an opening here. Okay, so this line here, I would seal it all the way. This line here, I would still keep that opening here. Okay, so let's go on the machine here. So this line here, closer to the opening here, I would make sure that the line, the 3/4 of an inch line, I'm gonna make sure I leave an opening, but I'm gonna seal the 2-inch line all the way around. So I'm gonna do the 2-inch first, and then we're gonna come and do this one here. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna start. So the first line I make towards here is the 2-inch. I'm gonna just follow the 2-inch, and I'm gonna seal it down. So I'm gonna see the opening here. I'm gonna make sure I shut it down. There's no opening for that line. And I'm just gonna follow my 2-inch mark here. You could also make a guide here, right, for 2-inch as well. We do have a 2-inch guide on the machine. So I'm just gonna be steady and sewing it down. I'm following my 2-inch guide. See, I seal it down and come back to that line here. Seal that down, okay? So now I'm gonna leave my opening because I need my opening. Now I'm gonna work with my 5/8 of an inch, okay? So you see, I just keep it down. You could actually cut out the thread if you want. I'm just gonna leave the thread and I'm just gonna skip now. Okay. There you go. Now I'm gonna just see I have an opening here. Let's put the thread there. Now I'm just gonna sew now. I'm gonna leave my opening here. So now, see my open is still here, and I'm gonna seal it here. Okay, so let's get back. Okay guys, so now you're finished. So it looks like this. You could go and iron it if you want again. I'm not gonna go ahead and do another iron right now. You could go ahead and iron it again, but now that I'm gathering it up, there's no need for me to iron it right now because I'm just gathering everything up, right? Okay, so the next thing you want to have is your make sure that you see everything how it is. So the next thing you want to have now is your elastic, and then I have my pin. So I'm gonna have two pins. So this is a smaller one to go through, and this is a bigger one here now. So this bigger one here, I'm just gonna hold it onto the edge, and this one here now I'm gonna nicely push it through, and it's supposed to go between here, right? That's what we made it for. That's what we made that part there for. So we're gonna push it between here. Okay. And I'm just gonna push it through. Okay, so what I'm gonna do here now is carefully remove this. And I'm gonna go seal it down on the sewing machine. If you have a domestic machine, you could do a zigzag. If you have a regular machine, you could just do a half inch. Just make it half an inch overlap. You could do it like that as well, and then you cut it out. I'm just gonna do it half an inch overlap, right? And another thing you could do again, even before you do that, you could always put a pin in it like this, and just carefully put it on your head, because or you could just leave one of this pin here. Let's put it like that for safety. If you put one of this pin here, you tie them, you just put them together, half an inch overlap, and then you fit it on your head to see, right? You fit it on your head to see. And then if it's too big, you could always adjust it before you seal it up, because the goal is that you want to make sure that it fits you nicely and it's not too big, right? Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we now gonna go ahead and seal this down, half an inch overlap, and then we are going to, so this one, we're gonna sew this down. We would actually do another stitch here to close that opening here, and then we're gonna fold this in and close this opening here as well. Alright, so now I'm gonna just do the half an inch overlap. So I fit it on my head to see how it fits. I'm just gonna bring it a little up. So I'm just sealing the elastic now. Sealing the elastic is very important to make sure it's stable. So with this, you want to make sure it's nice and strong, seal nicely. So now I'm going to stretch it through just to close this edge. And also while I'm doing that, I'm going to make sure that I don't sew the elastic, right? So I'm just going to stretch it. and close my 5/8 of an inch, making sure that I don't touch my elastic out of the way, so I'm just closing that edge. Okay, and the last thing now is just to fold this in. You can go ahead and do it with needle and thread too, like if you want. So fold this in. And I'm just gonna sit it down. If you have any folded part, remember it's a gathered anyway, so you could always fold it up. So not a big deal. Just gonna fold it up like this. Right, and I'm just gonna put that. Okay. So I'm just gonna seal the edge now. We are done. Okay guys, so now we are done. So you just set it out to your likeness. Yep, we are done. So that's the bigger size. So it would hold a lot of your hair. Keep it really nice and secure. I love it. This is how it is on the other side. Do it on both sides. It's fantastic. All right. Again, this is Julie's at Infinite Modesty Design. Thank you so much for your support. Take care, guys.